Kai Cenat, where's your school at, monkey? Huh?
What?
Where's your school at?
Kai Cenat.
Wow, man, the disease of coonery is so far gone, bro. Why is this dude calling Kai Cenat a monkey and a hard R? Jesus Christ.
I go to Southern. I'm gonna make a school. Kept all millions. I don't blame him. Get your bag, demon. He want that private jet.
Oh my God, he's so on. This dude is so, he is sat so firmly on Aiden Ross's cock that he over here spreading this bullshit, man. Jesus Christ.
Next year, I know what he doing.
I'm speaking the truth, bro. Where is the proof that it's building schools? This could announce Mafia 3, but where the schools at? Huh?
That school and African thing really had me, mad, bro, because you really built your whole mafia-thon off of that. You feel me? How you gonna do that and then you just didn't do it? Like, that's so lame, bro.
This is insane, bro. I literally posted a video weeks ago with the updates in regards to Kai Cenat school. It's not a secret. It's not hard to find. The information is there. People are just lying on the internet. I mean, what's new?
15% of the revenue will be going to the school that I have been building in Africa. 15%.
Kai Cenat gets a level of unfair treatment that I do not think is fair or equal across the different streaming platforms. Last month, there was a whole wave of people putting out why Kai Cenat is hated videos that were outlining different people on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch that were blatantly hating on Kai Cenat. And most of them, if not all of them, have been debunked for reasons that were just honestly not proven to be valid. Honestly, those situations were small, but this situation with Kai Cenat and his school honestly is going to stop a lot of streamers and other content creators from being philanthropic because audiences cannot control themselves. Going back to March 9th, 2024, Kai Cenat on his tour to a bunch of different places stopped in Lagos, Nigeria to visit.
Bro, if I ever do any charity, and you know, who knows what the future holds, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do that shit in secret, bro, because you put shit on the internet and I mean, just look how they do you.
You know, the country, see what's going on with the community and his people, doing his best I Show Speed impersonation. But while he was there, he noticed that this school that they were in was in a bunch of different turmoil.
Hi. But this made me realize in life, you gotta be very grateful for. So we're gonna see exactly what they need, what I can do to help them, and then they said the most that I can do today is give them the money give to them to see what they need. This is another classroom, so they learn stuff at. I went to school in a class that's 5 times bigger than this, bro, and we complain about going to school, bro. I'm going to help you today,
we're real lucky over here for sure.
The building is sinking. The building is coming down.
Okay.
It's sinking, so
The
we are looking
building's
for
sinking.
support to bring it down and rebuild because something like that so that it can slow.
Yeah, oh, like to make it strong?
Yeah.
Okay. The whole time I'm here, I'm gonna consistently be making sure that y'all getting stuff. And on top of that, when I even leave, I would like to contact
Bro,
you guys.
you know it's hot as fuck in this place, bro. Look at this, guys. Look at these niggas, man. They are sweating.
At a good basis, so I want to see like next time I come here, it's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying?
Now call it what you want, but this is probably where my biases come in. One, I've worked with Kai Cenat in the past, and from the things that I know, he very much enjoys children, seeing them grow, seeing them be educated. A lot of the videos that he has done in the past on his YouTube channel involve kids. He's done daycare videos, babysitting videos. He is very much pro children. And two, I've been to Ghana. Not saying that it's some sort of desolate place in all of Africa, is this third world country that needs hands out, but ultimately there are some places that do need some sort of financial backing. And if you can, as somebody who is, you know, wealthy or whatever the case may be, it would be good if you could reach back and put that hand out there and give a lot of money to people. So during that time, Kai Cenat had a big revelation as to what he was gonna do for his community, and I'm talking about the community abroad, being the kids in Nigeria. He decided that he was gonna give 20% of his funds from the subathon to build a school in Nigeria.
The process of me building this new school in Nigeria has officially been stamped today, as in terms of like it's a go, okay? So this new school in Makoko for the kids that live in Makoko in Nigeria, I started working on the school Right now.
Now, this is a W idea. Again, if you got the funds and you can give your handouts to those that are in need, this is great. But this is the first portion where I gotta give Kai some flack though. His next words let me know that his eyes were bigger than his stomach and he was about to bite off way more than he can chew.
If you're Africa or anything, or like Nigeria and stuff like that, and you know the best people that could hands down get the paint job good, get the right equipment they need, and is willing to get their hands dirty for the right amount of money to get paid and shit, let me know. Okay, they are working very hard right now, removing what gotta be removed and shit, like getting the school ready and shit.
Now, Kai, that was a little bit out there. Granted, I believe Kai Cenat has good intentions, and hindsight is probably 20/20 in this regards. But there's probably two things where Kai Cenat went wrong here. One, he definitely probably should have already had the people who were in place to get this done. And not saying that he didn't. Maybe he just needed more resources to flood to that area. But two, and this is my problem with the internet that is going to show its ugly head later in the video, is that people want timelines. People want instant gratifications. People are addicted to, you know, something being started today and finished later on that same exact day. So the fact that Kai Cenat didn't give timelines, which this is minuscule flack, this is just for the riders in the community that are watching him and going to criticize him, it may have been best to try to give some sort of timeline. Fast forward into 2025 and the riders are riding.
Kai Cenat, where's your school at, monkey? Huh? Where's your fucking school at?
People started making up false narratives and stories about Kai Cenat to where they were saying that there was these YouTubers going out to check on the lands and that Kai Cenat had done nothing in comparison to others like Mr. Beast and his community and his crew to see if there was some sort of progress or anything like that. They just started dick riding extremely hard. Now, there could have been good intentions behind what Aiden and Cuffham are doing in this next clip, but people were going even to the extent of pulling in Nigerians from Nigeria to check them to see if Kai was building his school.
Kai Cenat or a different Kai? Which one?
Kai Cenat, he's building a school in Nigeria. I'm saying, can you live in Nigeria, so can you confirm for your own self so they can get off his dick online? That's what I'm asking you.
I mean, I saw videos, so that's enough.
Okay, all right.
W Kai, man. W Kai.
W Kai on God.
This is so weird to me. Look, I don't want to bring up racial elements into this so soon, even though I have no problem with doing it. But it's strange to me how when Kai Cenat does anything, especially these charitable things, there's always this pressure to have it done soon, quick, fast, in a hurry, with people having to verify that he's getting it done. But when we see others like Mr. Beast and his crew do any sort of philanthropic things, there's no follow-ups, there's no checkups on it. He puts out his video, he puts out his live stream, and then everybody is under the assumption that it's just done. People may be able to point to a track record for Mr. Beast as to why people don't point at those things, but from my understanding, they've never followed through with these things. A large portion of that is because it's cool to hate. First of all, I don't understand why people were asking so many questions when there were continuous updates from Kai about this school.
So I'm gonna give y'all some little inside story. We built a school for the classrooms.
And I covered this in my previous reaction talking about the Kai Cenat school situation.
And stuff in Makoko, like over the river. But due to storm, a lot of it got messed up. Like money that we spent, dead got messed up, chat. Like orders aside, like there was a storm, it messed up a whole bunch of stuff, but we're back. To the kids on Coco, I will be back. I will be back. And when I'm back, the school is going to be done.
Yeah, man, the big thing is I do believe that Kai did bite off more than he could chew. Not that he can't get it done, but doing charity work, especially at this scale, it requires so much work. It requires so many, and so if you don't have a big team, if this was something he just kind of did spontaneously, it's like, ooh, I want to build a school in Africa and help these kids out. Yeah, you're talking about a massive project, a massive undertaking. And so I think because Kai's already, you know what I'm saying, it's become such a loud thing, he's more than likely probably committed to getting this shit done one way or another. But I think if he could go back in time, he probably just would have cut a check and kept quiet, man.
We raised a whole bunch of money to fund it. And also, I will also be putting in more money on top of it to make sure we can fund all the staffs in the school and everybody who works there and shit.
The second part about this is I don't understand why people thought that a school would pop up instantly. And that's the problem with the instant gratification era. This isn't a slight or a knock at Mr. Beast, but I think that this may be a reason as to why people think that this is the reason why Kai Cenat should have the school up earlier. Is because when Mr. Beast does his philanthropic efforts, there's this gamified version of it put on video where people are staged up as to having the final results be put in their face, which isn't the reality of doing these sorts of endeavors. Like, these things take time. I don't know why people thought it would happen overnight.
Why y'all acting like a school takes a couple of months to build?
Now going into this Mafiathon 3, Kai Cenat has promised 15% of this subathon to go straight to the schools of Nigeria, which another round of applause. But because he is him and because he needs to cover his tracks because of the hate that he gets, he is having to do something that people don't have to do on the internet, which sounds crazy, but at the same time, we don't hold people to the same standards, so it is crazy that they're asking him to do this. He has to now prove himself, and I mean over the top prove himself, that he is actually doing these things the responsible way.
I don't want to keep y'all holding. I don't want to go into further explanation by me doing it. So I have flown out the representatives from Nigeria and from South Africa to all the way to the US to sit here and to explain the entire updates.
So I hear people have been asking, why haven't you yet built the new school? I'm not sure people realize what it takes to actually launch a school, especially when you build it. You need to find the land. You need to buy the land. You need to get authorization from the government to build a school.
Right.
You need to actually build a school. And then you need to hire your teachers and get your accreditation from the ministry. So for us who have launched 16 schools in 10 different African countries, we know it can't take less than 2 years. It's impossible, especially if you want to do things right, and we want to do things right.
Absolutely. Do things right by complying with all legal and regulatory.
Bro, this is why niggas don't do shit, bro, for people. This is why black people, a lot of black men or black successful people, they don't want to fucking do anything for nobody, bro. Because look at how the internet is doing Kai Cenat. Look at what the kind of hoops he's jumping through. Dr. Umar had people waiting for 10 years, ain't no school. Kai Cenat, not even a year has passed, and people are down this nigga's, on this nigga's back. It's crazy, bro.
Requirements in Nigeria is important to ensure that we have a school that is sustainable and lasts for posterity.
This is the screenshot of the money sitting in the account, okay? Listen, the foundation balance is currently at 1.1 million. The foundation raised 1.2 million. Mafiathon 2 funds raised that we did was 976,000.
That's so nasty.
Benny Blanco donated 25,000. Thank you, Benny. Shout out to Benny.
Wow.
Benny. I had a personal donation of 128,000 to cover all computers and equipment.
Okay.
The NFL donated $100,000 as well.
That's amazing.
I think that that's so nasty. Not that he's raising money, but the links and extremes that he has to do to verify the fact that he's giving money and being charitable to the community is so sick and disgusting. This isn't some crowd-funded effort. No, this isn't a slight at Mr. Beast. This isn't a situation where he's asking other streamers to donate their money so people are questioning where their individual dollars go. This is donations and this is individual contribution. Sure, we had 2 people donate their money, but my God, the level of microscope that is put on Kai Cenat in this endeavor is just, honestly, it's racist.
It is racist, bro. I'm glad you said it, because I was about to say this shit, bro. It's just Kai Cenat is a dark-skinned dude, a very dark-skinned young man with dreads, bro, and he's the #1 streamer in the world, or he's, he under Mount Rushmore. It moves around who is actually sitting in the #1 seat, but Kai's held it before. I don't know if he holds it right now, but he up there. You already know that. And people hate that, bro. People hate to see it.
Call it out for what it is. Like, that's all that I can think of when I hear this. Granted, some of this is troll. Granted, some of this is Kick versus Twitch streaming. Granted, some of this is all these other things. But there is a level of racism that is ingrained in this situation that cannot be ignored by me. Now, I don't even care if you would love to have everybody universally that does these sorts of donations be this transparent about these things. Hey, I would think that that's like a phenomenal thing. Transparency is great to me. It's the consistency in which we try to hold people to these standards that I am just not seeing as a whole. This man has his address on this statement right here from Chase Bank.
Wow.
What kind of shit is that? And I'm okay with these charitable fundraising events that streamers and other content creators put on. But if this is the standard that they're going to have to do it to, I don't think there's going to be many more of these, because this is honestly annoying and invasive. I think there's this unrealistic expectation for content creators to do more and be more in the political sphere. Granted, we want the biggest.
Yeah, as I was sitting here, I was thinking if I was ever going to do charity, bro, it would probably be in the form of some like scholarships. I see why that is a go-to for a lot of people when they do charitable work. Why? Because one, a little goes a long way. You give one person a $10,000 check for a scholarship, that is huge in regards to what it does for them. And so you can spread it out more. You can give a ton. You know, imagine if Kai took this $1 million and divided it up as college scholarships. How many people he would save from student loan debt. The thing with scholarships, though, it's not visible, right? Like a school, you can go and look at the school. And so people like the idea of charity work that results in physical, tangible things that you can like see and touch. But in all reality, bro, you know what I'm saying? Doing shit like this, it ain't worth it, bro. I don't think it's worth it.
In the world to, you know, use.
Not if you're just like a content creator, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to actually run a charity, run some kind of charitable organization and not just do a one-off thing, then that's different. But if you're just trying to be charitable, either partner up with an already established charity organization that already has the infrastructure to do this shit, or do some like scholarships, you know what I'm saying? Go give back to people in your old neighborhood, some shit like that. Turkey drive, you know, shit like that.
Voice to say different things and give different opinions. But I think that this Kai Cenat school in Nigeria situation is a testament to what these content creators are, and it's just entertainers. A lot of them are young, naive, and ignorant to the severity of these places and spaces that they're getting into and the depth of the situations that some of these things that they want to contribute to are in. And even when they do go into the routes that Kai Cenat is going into, you know, head first, knee deep into building a school, they get chastised. And from a sense of like being a part of some sort of greater conversation that deals with politics, etc., I would much rather him do that than some of the performative actions that we've seen in the past with like the Nelk Boys, or any of these times where Eric Adams has been on streams, or hell, even I Show Speed being on Capitol Hill a couple of days ago. So although Kai Cenat may have bit off more than he can chew from the stance of, hey, this school was much more in depth, I think that I would rather see them, I'm talking about content creators and streamers, take this stance politically, take this stance for the greater conversation where they're actually putting their voice and word to actual use and do something good with it, than be this performative show where they're allowing the greater politicians who have like active cases come onto their streams and spit their gobbledygook ass rhetoric to try to navigate people's eyes left, right, and sideways. But if people are gonna hold these people to these unrealistic ass standards, I just don't know how much longer we are gonna see people do good things, and the people that are really going to suffer are those that are in need. This is gross, but W Kai.
Yeah, man. W Kai. And honestly, he didn't need to do that stream, because there's this great saying: never explain yourself. Why? Because your friends don't need it and your enemies won't believe you. Do you think that all of these channels that have been creating these lies, putting out this propaganda against Kai Cenat and his school, do you think they're all going to make videos now saying, oh guys, we were wrong, we fucked up, we thought he wasn't building the school, we thought he took the money and ran, nah, the money's here are these representatives, here they're explaining it? And in all reality, like I said, all the way back in March, Kai Cenat did a stream laying all this shit out already. You think they're gonna do that? Of course not, because they're racist pieces of shit, the West Jets of the world, and he's the main one that I've seen, but you know, all of them are the fucking same, dude. Yeah, bro, they're not gonna put out a new video clarifying shit. They're not gonna take down their old videos that have gotten hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views, that have generated tens of thousands of dollars. and are probably continuing to generate money and continuing to deceive people, they're not going to take them down. They're all pieces of shit, dude. All pieces of shit. And they're only getting away with it. Why? Because they're white and their audience is mostly white. And the reality is white people very easily cling on to the idea of a black person being bad, right? Because white supremacy has thoroughly brainwashed Western culture. The very same people that want to throw Kai Cenat under the bus or have him canceled or have his reputation ruined based off of the idea that he has scammed the people with this school are the very same people who gladly, if they were of voting age, voted for Donald Trump, who literally got sued because he created a scam school. It's literally like there's literally Netflix documentaries talking about this. People lost thousands of dollars investing into that shit, buying into that shit, and got nothing for it. And they happily made that guy president. But Kai Cenat, with no actual evidence that he isn't building the school, that there isn't any progress being made, they took some random video by one guy who is completely unrelated to Kai Cenat, filming a video in the same area, not at all asking about Kai's school or if anything is being done. And they just took that and said Kai Cenat isn't building the school, even though Kai already provided proof that progress is being made and there's a blueprint and a plan. But shout out to Kai, man. He's doing the best he can in the situation. I hope he doesn't get roped into defending himself. He don't need to do no more, bro. He doesn't need to do any more explanation, any more defense. Well, that's the video.